I just want you to start off by introducing yourself. First, I'm MaSheva. I do social media for SRP Unerased. And this is Table Talk Thursday. And we have the lovely Bria on today, who is a first-time IG Live personality. We hope to have her on more than once. Definitely.
You might just get me once, though.
Okay.
I'm joking.
I'll accept it. I'm going to move back to make sure that I'm not cut off. But yeah, so tell me about yourself and who you are and what you do.
Okay, so my name is Bria Russ, and I actually work for SRP doing podcasts. We create podcasts about Black women's stories, and right now I am actually working on a project with the lovely Carolyn Malachi. She is our producer.
Tell her.
Yes, and I am working with her as co-producer to book and to get people onto the show.
Yeah.
So, our first show, or my first show, will be episode 13, and we're doing a trilogy. And our trilogy is basically going to be on women's health.
Right.
So we're going to have the White Dress Project, which they are awesome. And I say they're awesome very loosely, but seriously, like, they are really, really, really awesome. Like, they actually put the legislation together for Fibroids Awareness Month. Which fibroids, of course, if you don't know what it is, it's really when you have like heavy periods, and it actually can it can cause people to have like problems with having children. Yeah. And overall just health, like your health in general, it'll just kind of mess you up. But it disproportionately affects Black women. Yeah. So that's going to be our first podcast. And we have the founder, Tanika, and Amber. She is the advocacy person, and she's going to be on. Really, really going to love it. They did a great job. And it's really heartfelt. And beyond it just being heartfelt, it's just like, it's something like when you hear the situation, you're thinking to yourself, like, I really need to talk to a doctor. Like, I don't think you don't think it can happen to you. Yeah. And it really didn't think it could happen to them either. And it, the common denominator, I guess, with the story of fibroids is, people tell you to wait. And you should not wait. You should get it addressed immediately. So that's our first one. And our second one is going to be on preconceptive health, which basically just talks about like our overall health. And our third one is going to be on reproductive justice. So, of course, I'm going to send everybody that joins emails to come and look at our podcast or listen to our podcast. So yeah, just stay tuned.
I love the fact that you're so excited about what you do. Like, it's infectious. Like I said, you bring such a refreshing new ideas. And like I said, it's so infectious. Like, you want to go out and do the same. You want to go out and you want to, make the best of what your department is. So I am excited again to have you to speak to fibroids. I had fibroids as myself. Wow. And like you said, you shouldn't wait. And I waited, and they grew and they grew and they grew. So are they going to talk to or speak to that? Like, how some women are just a little bit, they just kind of ignore it. And
yeah, so they actually do talk about that. And they talk about how most of the time when you go to the doctors they'll address that they're small, and they'll say, well, if it's not bothering you, don't bother them. Yeah. That approach. But then they also talk about like disparities about how like people don't talk about certain things about maybe freezing your eggs and just actually getting it taken care of. Like, while it's a minute problem, or people, meaning physicians, don't speak about that more with Black people or Black women. Yeah. They really get into like this whole backstory of like, I think one of them talked about 7 years. She went through the problem for like 7 years, and then you get to a point of being like infertile. So it's really scary because as I'm 28. Yeah. You guys know, and I've never had certain problems. However, my mom, she has suffered with fibroids, and my grandmother, she suffered really bad with fibroids. So, knowing that this is something that affects Black women disproportionately, and also it seems to like fall in families. Yeah. it's something, it actually, if they put me like on notice, like to go make sure my my fertile health was okay. So yeah.
And to speak to that, I think that's really great because my mom never told me she had fibroids, nor did my grandmother. I just happened to like touch my stomach one day. I was like, oh, this feels weird and hard. So I called my mom and she was like, oh, you need to go to the doctor to check it out. And I had already had 2 kids and stuff like that. So I kind of just put it off like, it's not that serious. But it got so bad that when you bleed heavily, you become anemic. And so I was so severely anemic from it, I had to get a blood transfusion. So hopefully like we have women on here that are listening that, like you said, if you feel something is wrong, you really don't listen to people telling you to put it off and everything. Yeah. Go straight to the doctor because it can get worse, like you said. So.
Yeah, and also it's just, I think the awareness, even just for men, like you know, like what women are going through, and you don't even know like that little pudge or whatever they must have at the bottom of their stomach that you're talking about, or you know, making them feel some type of way. You really don't know like what their struggles are, and you should just be more empathetic and even, you know, put them on notice, like you know, to go get things like that checked out, because it really can, it's really life threatening, and it can alter your entire future, how yourself with another person, or like how their quality of life is going to be. So in enjoyment with your quality of life, because y'all might be together. So it's just something, you know, people will, us in the Black community, we really just need to talk about it, because it's just, like I said, it's just so disproportionately affecting us. Like we really need to get a handle on this. And actually the White Dress Project is actually putting up legislation on the 27th. They're going to have their first night, legislative night on the Hill. And and they're going to be putting in a bill for education, to press it out in education, and to do more research to see why it actually is happening, and why people are getting it, and, you know, especially more so like why is it affecting, like, you know, Black women. So
is that open to the public?
Yes, actually you can go on their page, the whitedressproject.org, and they are, you can sign up online, and it'll be great. It's going to be virtual, so you can sign up online.
Perfect. Okay. I think I'll go to that.
You guys definitely should come and do it too.
Okay. So what else do we have coming up? When are we going to, I know that in the pandemic, we haven't been outside, so we're opening up. And our team works virtually. We need to get together and do a happy hour like immediately.
Yeah,
because we have such a great team. It would be great to like meet everyone in person and hang out, and, you know, just be a little more personal, because most of the time we're working. And so just to have that little bit of time together, that would be really a lot of fun. And we're funny.
I agree.
Like, Bria is funny, guys.
Who's funny? Me?
Sometimes. Not all the time.
They know I'm cool, you know.
Very cool. Love it. So, anything else you would like to add, or you would like to tell us?
Really just definitely join our
friend. Is that one of your friends?
Is just being I love it. He's one of my is the best. So yeah. Ever, like just basically subscribe to our podcast. It's SRP Unerased. Like I said, my first episodes are going to be 13, 14, and 15, Trilogy 5. However, I would like all of you guys to go and listen to all of them, so you can also just see like how we're progressing and how, you know, like how we're getting along. So and let me know too, like, what do you like? What don't you like which we should change, how we can do better. You know, I'm always open to constructive criticism. And, you know, I know my friends would never do things or say things that wouldn't put me in the best position. So just subscribe and let me know what you think.
Well, thank you, Bria, for coming out. I know this is really quick. But you look great, like I said, and I'm so grateful that you decided to come on. I know this is your first podcast, but I'm going to get you back on here.
Okay.
We're going to do so many big things, so we have to have you back.
Okay. Thank you, MaSheva, and thank you,
Bria.
Appreciate y'all.
Well, Well, talk to you later. Bye-bye.